Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The book of Jihad, publication of Jihad. This is the book of Imam An-Nawawi, Riyadh Al-Salihin. The obligation of Jihad. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah was asked, which deed is the best? He replied, faith in Allah and His Messenger. He was asked, what is next? He replied, Jihad, holy fighting in the cause of Allah. Then he was asked, what is after that in goodness? He replied, Hajj Mabrur, which is accepted by Allah. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I asked the Messenger of Allah wasallam, which action is dearest to Allah? He replied, performing a salat, the prayer, and at its earliest fixed time. I asked, what is next in goodness? He said, kindness towards parents. I asked, what is next in goodness? He said, to participate in jihad in the cause of Allah. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Dharr, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah was asked, which deed is the best? He replied, faith in Allah and jihad, fighting, struggle in the cause of Allah. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, verily, setting out in the early morning or in the evening in order to fight in Allah's way is better than the world and what it contains. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, a man came to the Messenger of Allah and said, who is the best among men? He replied, a believer who strays in the way of Allah with his wealth and life. The man asked again, who is next to him in excellence? He said, next to him is a man who is engaged in worshipping his Rabb in a mountain valley, leaving the people secure from his mischief. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Sahil bin Sa'ad, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, observing riba, that is example guarding the Islamic frontier for the sake of Allah for a single day is far better than the world and all that it contains. A place in Jannah as small as the whip of your house is far better than the world and all that it contains. An endeavor fighting in the cause of Allah in the evening or in the morning is far better than the world and all that it contains. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Salman, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard the Messenger of Allah saying, observing riba in the way of Allah for a day and a night is far better than observing some fasting for a whole month and studying salat prayer in all its nights. If a person dies while performing this duty, he will go on receiving his reward for his meritorious deeds perpetually, and he will be saved from al-fatan. Muslim. Fadala bin Ubayd, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, the actions of every dead person come to a halt with his death except the one who is on the frontier in Allah's way, that is observing ribat. These latest deeds will be made to go on increasing for him till the day of resurrection, and will be secure from the trials in the grave. Abu Dawud and At-Tirmidhi. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard the Messenger of Allah saying, spending a day on the frontier in Allah's way is better than 1,000 days in any other place. At-Tirmidhi. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, Allah guarantees that he who goes out and fight in his way, believing in him and affirming the truth of his messenger, will either be admitted to Jannah or will be brought back to his home safely from where he set out, with whatever reward or share of booty he may have gained. By him whose son Muhammad's soul is, if a person is wounded in the way of Allah, will come on the day of resurrection with his wound in the same condition as it was on the day when he received it. Its color will be the color of blood, but its smell will be the smell of musk. By him in whose son Muhammad's soul is, if it were not to be too hard upon the Muslims, I will not lag behind any expedition to fight the cause of Allah, but I have neither abundant means to provide them conveyance horses, nor all other Muslims have it. It will be hard on them to remain behind when I go forth for jihad. By him in whose son Muhammad's soul is, I love to fight the way of Allah and get killed, and to fight again and get killed, and to fight again and get killed. Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah said, whoever is wounded while fighting the way of Allah will come on the day of resurrection with the blood oozing from his wound, having the color of blood, but with the fragrance of musk. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Mu'adh, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet said, Jannah becomes incumbent for a Muslim who fight for the cause of Allah for a period as long as the time between the two consecutive turns of milking a she-camel. He who receives a wound or a bruise in the cause of Allah will appear on the day of resurrection as fresh as possible. Its color will be the color of saffron, and its fragrance will be that of musk. At-Tirmidhi and Abu Dawud. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, one of the Prophet's companions came upon a valley containing a rivulet of fresh water and was lighted by it. He reflected, I wish to withdraw from people and settle in this valley, but I won't do so without the permission of the Messenger of Allah. This was mentioned to the Messenger of Allah, and he said to the man, do not do that, for when any of you remains in Allah's way, it is better for him than performing salat prayer in his house for 70 years. Do you not wish that Allah should forgive you and admit you to Jannah? fight in Allah's way, for who fight in Allah's cause, as long as the time between two consecutive times of making a she-camel will be surely limited to Jannah. At-Tirmidhi. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, what other good deed could be equivalent of jihad in the way of Allah? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, you do not have the strength to do it. The narrator said, the question was repeated twice or thrice, but every time he sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered, you do not have the strength to do it. Then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, one who goes out for jihad in the cause of Allah is like a person who observes some fasting, stands in salat prayer, constantly recites the ayat of the Quran, and does not exhibit any lassitude in fasting and prayer until the participant of jihad in the way of Allah returns. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. May Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best life is that of the man who holds his horse's rein in Allah's way and flies on his back to the places from whence he hears a war cry or the clatter of arms, seeking martyrdom or slaughter on the battlefield, or that of a person who goes to stay on the top of the hill or in a valley, and there he performs salat prayer, pays zakat, and worships his Rabb until death overtakes him. He has no concern with the affairs of anyone except the doing of good. Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in Jannah there are 100 grades which Allah has prepared for those who find His cause, and the distance between any two of those grades is like the distance between the heaven and the earth. Al-Bukhari. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone is pleased with Allah as his Rabb, with Islam as his religion, or with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as Allah's messenger, sure he will be entitled to enter Jannah. Abu Sa'id was related with his deeds and requested the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to repeat it. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam repeated it again and then said, there is also another act by which Allah will elevate the position of a pious believing slave in Jannah to grade 100 degrees higher, and the distance between any two grades is equal to the distance between heaven and the earth. He asked the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam what it was, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, jihad in the way of Allah, jihad in the way of Allah. Muslim. Abu Bakr bin Abu Musa al-Ashari reported, I heard my father saying in the presence of the enemy, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the gates of Jannah are under the shades of the swords. A man with a shaggy appearance got up and said, O Abu Musa, did you hear the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that in person? Abu Musa replied in the affirmative. So he returned to his companions and said, I tender you farewell greetings. Then he broke the scabbard of his sword and drew it away. He rushed towards the enemy with his sword and fought with it till he was martyred. Muslim. Abu Abdul Rahman bin Jabir, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it will not happen that the fit soul with dust while doing jihad in the way of Allah will be touched by the fire of hell. Al-Bukhari. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no one who weeps out of fear